HRM. Okay, HRM, as I mentioned, initially they usually offer as a HR recruiter or talent manager or talent acquisition or as an IT recruiter antanu ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. For IT firms you will be recruiting and training. Sometimes you might get opportunities in training also, training and development. So these are the opportunities for a fresher, but later you have this compensation management, HR, payroll management, and you have appraisals which you get into, and you have this what is called HR audit and HR regulations. How do you cater to HR regulations? All these things comes under HR. So a quick go through of what are the subjects and what are the opportunities there. In third step, you will have performance management and competency mapping, and in talent management and employee engagement, learning and development, human resources. In performance management and competency mapping, you have all the measuring of the performance and appraisals. How do you create appraisal? With what basis do you give their compensation based on the appraisal? With what basis do you give the promotion to them? All these things comes under this. Performance evaluation. There are various evaluation tools. So you will be responsible to apply these tools and take their response. As a fresher also you can get into this role. Performance appraisal, on what basis you measure and on what basis do you create the appraisals for your employees. And HR policy, to talk about every policy, even the leave policy and their safety measure policy and their compensation policy. There are many things which you cater to your HR. All these comes under this. Competency, that is upskilling and reskilling. This again has a huge market, where you can think of upskilling and reskilling your employees. What is the difference?
Yeah.
Upskilling is maybe gap. Present what it is, in future what is the expectation. According to that you are upskilling them. Reskilling, they are already trained but they are not performing in the organization. You take them to the again training and development so that you reskill them so that they improvise their productivity. Talent management and employee engagement. So you will try to identify their competency and how do you increase, identify their talents and put them into the right job. HR is all about identifying the right people to the right time at the right quantity for the right job. So that's what this will take care. Talent management system and training and development. You have various on the job and off the job training process which you will study here. And talent engagement and retention. How do you engage your employees for a regular day-to-day organizational activities? And what are the retention is very important these days. Absenteeism is increasing and turnover of the HR is increasing. So what strategies do you build here? There also you have scope. Compensation management, a huge scope. Even as a fresher you can get into compensation management. Information technology management system. Implementation of information technology in managing your human resources. There are various tools. Accounts maintain ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕಿಂತ you have tools which will automatically measure the performance and give you the reports. HR analytics for talent management process. How do you apply analytics? I said you analytics is also applied in HR. So you will be applying your analytical skills to understand and measure the HR data. Learning and development. Training, learning and development. So you train your employees, they will learn on the job. Training is usually, it is the skills you are providing them and they learn to do it in an effective way. And later they will develop for their future requirements. These are the 3 stages. Methods of training you will be understanding and training evaluation you will be doing. And you will also do your HRD, human resource development and career management. This is important. All the organizations today are expected to have their career growth. When you are choosing the companies, look into what they offer today, and if you have career opportunities there, then only you can choose an organization. Innovative practices of learning and development. What are the unique practices you apply for your HR training and development? The 4th sem you will be studying about global HRM, strategic HRM, and you have industrial relations and HR audit. So when you want to get into a global organization, then what are the strategies you apply at various stages? So this is also important to understand, because what you apply strategies here in the local will not work for the global HR, because they come from a different diversified group from different cultural background, language barriers, different expectations, lifestyle is different. So what you apply the compensation here will not work for you to apply globally. Your training here will not work globally. Their process is totally different. So all those you apply here. So global practices and implications and managing cross-border integration. When you get into cross-border integration, that's what I said. They come from different diversity. You all should understand that and develop the strategies accordingly. Managing global HR in virtual organization. This is very important. Many organizations found it difficult to have work from home option being given to their employees. That's why they are calling them back to the organization or for the hybrid mode. That one-to-one interaction is different and virtual interaction is totally different. So to have this is again one of the challenge, and you will have opportunities here also. And majority of the HRs today are hiring through virtual mode itself. So that is also there. Compensation management in GHRM, and you guys when you attend your interviews, keep this in mind that virtual interviews will also be done. So you have to practice yourself for that also. So that is different. You attend interview virtually is different. So you have to get prepared for it. Simply like that you cannot go and set your technical glitches and your appearance there, your voice modulations there, everything you have to check in prior and attend. Compensation management and industrial relations in GHRM, global HRM. So what are the industrial relations among all the collaborations, or what mode of the entry is, say for example joint venture, so two organizations come together. So those collaborations also you will have to study. And in your strategic HRM, you have strategic approaches and performance. How do you modify your strategies based on the different geographical location, based on the different countries. And contemporary HR issues, what are the major issues you see today among the employees? Work-life balance, have you heard of it? One of the major issue. Turnover rate, one of the major issue. No motivation. Productivity is low. And resistance to the change. Every day new technology is coming in. That resistance to the change is one of the major issues. These are the HR issues which organizations should take care of. HR audit and HR regulations to understand the legal approach for your employees. And you have industrial relations and HR audit. Policies and trade unions. Trade union is one of the major problem for any organization. Problem and benefit both. It depends on how you treat your trade unions. If you manage it well, then you have all the benefits from the trade unions. They will motivate your employees. But if you are a problem creator for trade unions, they will double it. Labor regulations and welfare, HR audit, employee safety. Safety measures is again one of, there is a separate department who take care of the HR safety measures. There also you will have opportunities. Performance management audit. So measure the performance. Only that in the third module you applied it for local employees. Now you are applying it globally so that you have some, you will have to explore various culture of the different countries. HR scorecard and HR audit report. Scorecard is nothing but performance measurement. How do you measure it? What are the elements you include in your performance measurement? You can be a part of it. So these are the opportunities. So to sum up with what are the opportunities, as I mentioned, for a fresher it is HR recruiter, or compensation management you can get into, or IT recruiter you can get into, or talent acquisition you can get into, or you can also get into this training and learning. See, human resource assistant, so you will be assisting your HR. They will basically ask you to identify the applicants. What is the difference between recruitment and selection? Any idea? Is it same or different? Different. How is it different?
Selection is a part of
Or I would say recruitment is a part of selection. No. Why do you say no?
Recruitment is like analyzing the current need of employees, and it involves analysis before the process.
Okay.
Selection, it basically starts with the process.
Okay. Recruitment probably, I would say, you have the requirement need for an organization. That is your need analysis. That is your first stage. Next stage is your recruitment. Recruitment is calling in applicants and screening it out. That is your recruitment stage. And you guys as a fresher usually work at this stage, recruitment stage, wherein you invite people to apply for, again their promotion involves. Right? If you want to invite people to apply for the job roles, promotion is required. You have to promote your job role and your organization, and you invite people applicants for your job role, and then you do the initial screening. Then it comes into the selection process. There are various stages of selection process in the later stage. That is the recruitment. So that's why we call it as HR recruiter and not selector. Selection maybe is done at the higher job roles of HR. Your senior HRs will take care of selection. You will be involved in recruiting. That is inviting the applicants and do the initial screening. Nowadays, even you have softwares for screening your resumes. Be very careful when you are applying for the job, because there are initial screening which is happening by system generated process rather than human doing it. So any small error, they say 60% is the aggregate required, you upload 59.9, they will not accept it. You make any mistake, instead of some doesn't show that they are pursuing MBA. You don't mention that in your resume. So they say that this is a degree candidate and they'll remove it. Okay, so be very careful in mentioning those things. And you have HR executive, management trainee, that is training process, and payroll management and compensation specialist, I spoke about it, employee relations manager, so you will become an employee relation manager to understand all their problems and cater to that, and learning and development specialist, training and development. These are the initial roles, but for an MBA, usually as a placement coordinator, I have seen HR recruiter role coming in, but initially to start with, the pay would be less for an HR, but later definitely you will have faster growth. So HR also has opportunities, and you will enjoy managing people as a leader. Okay. This is what all I had to say about your marketing and HR opportunities. I would be happy if anyone could explore anything in it and show interest in it, because don't always go with the flow. Always look for opportunities in your interest, is what I always say. There's nothing like booming and there's nothing like it doesn't boom. Every specialization has opportunities. That's the reason it is kept in your curriculum.
So guys, I think we have come to the end of the very informative first session. I'm sure ma'am, with her expertise knowledge, she has given you a clarity with regarding to the core subject specialization which you need to concentrate on in terms of choosing. So on behalf of Jayashree Educational Trust and Postgraduate Department of Business Administration, ma'am, thank you so much for accepting our invite and being a part of this session. Thank you, ma'am.